Hello everyone. I hope you all have installed Ubuntu as well as Koha in your operating system, and now you are ready to proceed working in Koha. So we will be discussing in detail how to configure Koha, and also we will see how we can work in Koha as per our library policy and as per our library daily routine work. But before that, I'll be briefing about library automation and why it is important. If we are thinking about library automation, then how we can start library automation, what are the steps we need to follow, what are the criteria we need to follow in order to do the library automation, and also which software will be suitable for our purpose. So I'm going to just brief little bit about the library automation and then the criteria and the steps one has to follow before library automation. So basically I'll be talking with special reference to Koha. My question is to all of you that what do you understand by automation, or what do you understand by library automation? I hope the answer you will be giving in general that automation or library automation is the technique or the process in which we try to minimize the manual work with the help of information and communication technology. Exactly, I am also trying to say the same thing, but I will try to define with the help of a definition which I have mentioned here. Library automation is the general term for information and communication technologies that are used to replace manual system in the library. In fact, we do many things in the library and we follow the manual work, but when we start doing the manual work, it involves the lot of time, and to replace that we take the help of any ICT tool or any tool which helps a lot nowadays to minimize the manual work. So in very short, we can say that library automation is the process to minimize the effort or save the time of library professional to carry out the manual work in the library. Let's see in more detail why do we need library automation. In fact, when we talk about the need of library automation, immediately so many things come in mind. Like we follow the automation, so it helps in increasing our efficiency, it helps in managing our records properly, it helps in processing our manual work in very effective way. So let me discuss one by one. The first, it will help to increase the operational efficiency. Obviously, when we do the manual work, it takes lot of time. I take one example of circulation. For an example, nowadays we follow the library automation in library. So if any user is coming to library, we issue any book to the user within fraction of second, because the user comes with the book and the member card. And nowadays the member card as well as the book both are automated in the system. The record, the bibliographical detail is available in the ILMS, Integrated Library Management System. So when we put the detail of member and book, it immediately finds the detail and issues the record to the concerned user. So obviously when we do the manual work, it takes a lot of time in order to issue the book to one user. But when we issue it with the help of any library automation tool, it takes less time. So obviously it increases the operational efficiencies of any library staff. The second point why do we need is to improve the quality, speed and effectiveness of service. Obviously when we do the work with the help of any tool, it helps to maintain the quality. We also can work manually with the help for the quality, and we maintain the quality with the manual work. But when we take the help of any library automation tool, obviously it helps to maintain the quality, and also we do the work with the quicker speed. The time which we take in manual work, if you compare with the tool, it is done in the less time. The next point, why do we need library automation, is that to improve access to resources on other network and system, including the web. Nowadays we are having the online public access catalog, where we find the record in very easy way. Simply we have to type the keyword and it fetches the information and provides the detail to you. So you can say not only in your library, even from outside also you can browse your detail. If it is on internet, you can access sitting at your home, you can access sitting anywhere in the world and browse your library records. So library automation is generally required in order to access the detail not only in the internal network, but you can say the outer, means when you are out of campus or you are accessing from the outside. So it helps to access the resources in the other network easily. That's why we need library automation nowadays. To improve the management of physical and financial resources, it helps to manage our physical resources in very effective way, because we maintain the recording system and it gets saved in the system, and whenever we require, we get the information very easily. The financial management, that is the very challenging task in any library. What happens when we manage the record? All of a sudden, if our authority asks that I need the financial expenditure analysis of this particular year, if you go and calculate manually, definitely it will take a lot of time to calculate and produce the result. But if you take the help of any tool and you are properly maintaining it, within fraction of second you can generate the report, take the printout and give it to your higher authority. So it helps to maintain the resources physically as well as the maintain financial resources in very effective manner. We need library automation for that also. The next point I will be discussing about the facilitate wider access to information for their clients. Who are our clients? The now question is, the clients are our library users. So we directly facilitate users with the help of library automation tool in very effective way, because nowadays the online public access catalog we provide in a web form, where the user can access the online public access catalog sitting at their room or hostel or anywhere. So library automation is highly required nowadays to facilitate user in the form of online public access catalog in web format. Next point I will be sharing why do we need is to facilitate wider dissemination of information, products and services. We carry out lot of services in the library. We execute lot of services in the library for the benefit of academic need, or you can say for the benefit of researcher, for the benefit of faculty, for the benefit of users, for the benefit of students, staff. So what in fact happens here, that library automation helps a lot in order to market our library services. See, we spend crores of rupees nowadays in library, and if it does not reach the library user, or you can say the end user, there is no use of having these resources or services in the library. So library automation tool helps a lot in order to provide the information or market the services or market the resources to the end users, the clients, our library users. That's why we need library automation nowadays, and it helps a lot. The next point, to enable their participation in resource sharing library network. Very often we keep sharing the information with other library, or you can say the best example of Library of Congress online access catalog, where we get lot of information online, and sometimes we do the copy cataloging also. We just try to harvest the information with graphical detail or authority record from the Library of Congress database, and we import in our Koha database or any ILMS, subject to the provision of J39.50 protocol in the system. So it happens with the help of library automation tool. So we enable the participation in resource sharing also throughout the world, and we ensure that maximum participation take place with the help of library automation tool. Now the next point, why do we need library automation is that to enable rapid communication with other libraries. Nowadays, the online public access catalog has the provision of social media like Facebook, Twitter. So we keep communicating our latest release, or you can say the RSS feed, latest arrival through these social media or through Web 2 technologies, and it helps to reach the user in very effective way. So we can say that library automation is required to enable rapid communication with other libraries. Now I will be discussing some of the steps for selecting the integrated library management software, and that is very important, because once you have decided that okay, you are going to automate your library, so you should think about this, that what are the steps I need to follow. So here I have mentioned the 8 steps for selecting any integrated library management software. Then you will come to a final conclusion that which is the best software for as per my need. Let me tell you one by one. The first one is the first step in order to select the integrated library management system, and that is the analyze and identify your needs. In any library, when we think about automating library, first we have to analyze what is our actual need. Let me take the example of one academic library where we follow acquisition of books, then cataloging, then circulation, and then serial control, and then overall administration. So obviously, to fulfill all these criteria, we need a very powerful and robust integrated library management system which can fulfill our all requirements. So I mean to say here that you need to first analyze what is your need. For example, I am working in a very small library where I do not carry out my acquisition of books and serial control with the help of any tool. I do it manually, and I only need circulation, my cataloging, and it should be accessed by the end users. So in this case, I do not require the big package or the large package. I only need 3 features which any software can provide me, give me the provision to fulfill my requirement. So in that case, you need to first analyze your need, and based on that you have to proceed. The second point, the second step in order to select the integrated library management system is the develop criteria for evaluation based on your need assessment. You need to develop some criteria, which we will be talking about these criteria in next slide. You have to decide some criteria, that what will be our hardware, what will be our software, what will be the cost, how we are going to manage, what are the features. All these you have to think in the beginning based on your need assessment, and then only you can proceed for the next point. So criteria part I will be discussing in the next slide because it involves many procedures. Second is read relevant reviews of library automation system and related technologies and standards. This will give you a clear-cut picture about the latest technology available in the market. Before going for selecting any integrated library management system, I request or I suggest that one should follow the review, because there are many libraries and library professionals, they are using the software and they give the honest feedback and reviews, they write reviews. If you read all those feedback and reviews, you will come to the conclusion that what is the problem and what is the advantage, what are the different facilities, options available in that particular software. So it will help you a lot in taking the right decision in order to select the exact and proper integrated library management system for your library. So you need to think about reading the reviews and related technologies. Then you need to prepare a short list of all the library software packages, their features, functional module, and standards supported. You have to prepare a list of all the software which you have come to know through different reviews, through different feedbacks, and you need to prepare a list. You need to consider the standards also which is internationally accepted. Like I will tell you one standard here. Nowadays we keep talking about the G39.50, which helps or facilitates all the library professionals in order to do the copy catalog. Through this Z39.50 protocol, we copy the the bibliographical detail from other library catalog to our library catalog. So when you prepare the list of library management system, you need to prepare the list of all those features which are available in the library packages along with the standards which will help you to take the right decision. And the next point, that is the fifth step for selecting integrated library management system, is ask libraries for an honest evaluation for their library management system. There are many libraries where they are using any library management system. If you are going to accept or implement the same library management system, it is always suggested that you just talk to that library professional who is using that software, and then you go ahead for that software. So you will get honest feedback from the library professional that what to do in this case, and you will be in the comfortable position to take the right decision. The sixth step, that is visit local libraries or institution who is using the library software. It is always suggested that if it is possible, wherever the software which you are thinking that you are going to implement in your library also, go there, go in person, visit the library, just one by one see all the features, take the honest feedback from the concerned staff who is using, and then proceed for the selecting the library management system. Seventh point, that ask better for demo version to try. Many times it happens that we do not know many hidden things of any library automation software. So it is always suggested that if you are thinking about any library management system and if you are taking the help of any vendor, so ask vendor or the concerned technical person who is going to do that to demonstrate the features of that particular software, so that whatever the need you have analyzed, you will be able to compare with the features available during the demonstration. So this is very important. You can request the technical person who is going to implement or vendor that what are the features, so that we can try for some days, few days, and then we can come to final conclusion whether it will be useful for my library or not. So the seventh point you need to follow very strictly, and you need to consider it. Ask vendor to give the demo and then try it out. And the last one, determine and compare initial and total cost of each library system. Once you analyze your need and you have come to the conclusion that this is my software which I am going to implement in my library, first you have to think about the initial cost, how much cost it is going to involve, because you need to approach your library authorities, you need to approach your higher authorities to get the approval for the involvement of cost. So if it is beyond the expectation of the management, probably you may not get it answered. So in that case, you need to think it should be low cost or it should be involving the cost as per your need. So these are the steps one library professional has to follow in order to implement the library automation in his or her libraries. Now let's see what are the criteria we need to follow in order to select the integrated library management system. I'll be going quickly with the help of this slide. The first one, you need to think about the operating system. The software which you are going to implement, it should have the provision of working in the operating system which you can get easily. Let me talk about the Koha operating system. Many professionals, they approach that whether it can be installed in Windows. For your kind information, I would like to, as per my knowledge, I would like to mention here that Koha cannot be directly installed the latest version in Windows operating system. After 2.2.9 version, the Windows version has been discontinued by the developer community. And now Koha is fully installed in Linux version, Ubuntu or Red Hat or CentOS, what are the flavors of Linux operating system available. So, but there is a possibility that you can install, you can access the Koha through Windows operating system, or even you can install VirtualBox in Windows operating system, and there you can install Linux and install Koha. So that is the long process. Better you install Linux and directly install Koha and operate. So you need to consider that the operating system, whatever the software you are going to use, it should support the relevant operating system and easily available. Second point, the hardware and software requirement. The hardware software requirement is very important part, because many servers they do not support, or they support only specific Linux version. So you have to ensure that whatever the software you are choosing, it should support the same Linux version. Second part, the hardware. The hardware which you are taking, it should not be very costly, or the software, integrated library management software which you are going to implement, it should not involve the hardware which has very high cost. So that we'll be talking about little bit in detail when we talk about Koha. The second point, you need to think while deciding the criteria, the functionality, the different modules, and then you have to analyze the modules, what are the modules available as per your need. Then you have to think about the existing function, navigation, user interface, and then customization part, how much you will be free to customize. For example, you need to customize the online public access catalog, so there should be provision to customize your online public access catalog, to customize your basic requirement, not at the programming level but at application level it should support. So you have to see the user interface. It should not be very complicated one. Nowadays, most of the library management software, they are coming in the web-based technology, so you can access through web browser. As far as the Koha is concerned, it is completely based on web-based technology. You can access after installation through web browser. Then you have to think about the design flexibility, switching from one module to another. Multifunctional module, does it enhance the productivity? Earlier, in the if you think about the software which was implemented 2 decades back, they were having the feature of the client and to be installed in the individual system, and there was less possibility that when you are switching from one module to another module, the previous module remained open, and as a result the system used to get hanged. Nowadays it does not happen in most of the software. When you open another module, the previous module which you have already opened, it gets closed and the another module starts working. So you have to check that this feature is available, whatever the software you are going to implement in your library. Now the next point is the conforming to standard, that is the international standard which you will be following. So like MARC is the International Bibliographical Exchange format, which helps you to enter the bibliographical detail through this exchange format. The second international standard is the G39.50, which helps you to do the copy cataloging. So you need to decide all these criteria before you go for selecting any integrated library management system. Some of the more points you need to consider, like single user, multi-user network. It should work on single user network also. It should be having the provision that it can work in the multi-user network. Then the software which you are going to use, whether it can work in the is client-server technology. The client-server technology enables the user where the server has the software and the different computer can be connected to the server, and at the same time many people or many library professionals can access the software. So this is client-server technology you have to think about before you going for selecting the library management system. User control customization. This is very important criteria you need to follow. In a big library where the number of staffs are more, or you can say there are many sections where you want to customize or you want to give the privilege or limited privilege to library staff. So there you need to customize the options. You need to have the control over the options or modules where you can give the limited privilege or required privilege to the concerned staff. So that feature a library software must have. Then training support. This is very important point. The software which you are going to implement, it should have the training provision or the initial cost involvement. all these you need to consider in the beginning itself, because once you implement the software you will be requiring the technical support at least at the initial stage, and then only you can run the software smoothly. Then development support, upgrade and its cost. Once you implemented the software, after some time the software definitely will have upgrades or updates. So how you are going to get those updates? This you have to think or consider in the beginning itself, because once you have implemented, it should have the provision of having the upgrade in your system. And the last 2 points, that migration, data migration, manual documentation. Today you have implemented, tomorrow you want to migrate to any other system. So you should be in position to easily migrate from your implemented system to any other system. And at last, any software which you are going to have the proper documentation to avoid the problem in future. You can consult the document anytime you are going to have any software problem or technical problem. So all these criteria you need to have in the beginning so that you can implement the library automation system in a very effective way. So let me take you some of the challenges you may face. These are the lack of staff preparation. Many times it happens that you are already having any library automation system. So what will happen? Generally staff may not be ready to accept the new changes in the library. So you need to prepare the library staff in advance so that library staff will operate in a very effective way. Second point, the data conversion, that is the big challenge we will be talking about in detail in this workshop. So suppose I am using any commercial software and today I think that okay, let me move to Koha. So how the data will be converted? So whatever the software you are going to implement, it should have the less technical involvement in future, and you can migrate to any other software or any other library tool easily. And the last, lack of resources and expertise. You may be facing this problem. You may not have the expert who may use your software in very effective way. So you may have this challenge. As far as the Koha is concerned, there are many people in our country or even abroad. They can help through forum or directly you can write them mail or contact them. They will help you in very effective way. So all these you can face challenges. These are some of the major open source integrated library management system like Newsleaf, Imilda, Evergreen, Avanti, Koha, OpenBiblio, PHP My Library. But very famous are 3: Koha, Newsleaf and Evergreen. Nowadays, Koha is very popular because of international recognition, international acceptance, international standards. Koha has been accepted internationally because of its simple feature. And we will be talking mainly in this workshop about Koha and about data migration. So I hope I have covered almost all the points required for library automation, and you need to consider these points in very depth, and then you can proceed for implementing any library automation software. So I hope I have been able to make you understand about the library automation concept and the different steps and criteria. So let's see in the next video how we can work in Koha. Thank you for watching this video.